The UN and its agencies flew flags at half-staff today after early indications showed 19 employees of UN-affiliated organizations died in the Ethiopian Airlines crash. Some of the UN victims had been on their way to a large environmental conference set to begin in the Kenyan capital of Nairobi, and the UN flag at the conference venue was lowered today.
All 157 people aboard the Ethiopian Airlines plane were killed when it crashed minutes after takeoff from Addis Ababa yesterday. 8 of the dead were Americans. As
the investigation into what brought the plane down continues, many are calling for the Boeing 737 MAX 8 to be grounded. Among them, former NTSB Chairman Jim Hall.
Tonight, his thoughts on the importance of identifying and resolving the problem for the safety of Americans and passengers around the globe.
Well, I think there could legitimate concern.
Tennessee Valley resident and former chairman of the National Transportation Safety Board, Jim Hall, came out early following the Ethiopian Airlines crash, calling for the Boeing 737 MAX 8 to be grounded. This tragedy comes only 5 months after the Lion Air crash in Indonesia. They were the same model plane and both experienced problems soon after takeoff. Could new technology designed for greater distance and fuel efficiency have been the culprit?
I think everything is on the table right now in terms of what could have caused this second accident. There was a lot known about the first accident, and there was discussion that there was going to be a computer fix coming from Boeing, but that has not come as yet.
The first commercial flight for the MAX 8 was in May of 2017. Worldwide, some 300 are in service. In the States, American, Southwest, and United fly them, not out of Chattanooga, but certainly out of hubs like Charlotte and Atlanta. With more than 5,000 on order, this is a problem Boeing needs to solve.
We are dealing with a new technology, and when we have 2 accidents like this, the prudent thing is to ground the aircraft and see if we can Boeing can come up with a solution that will ensure the safety of the aircraft, and that we won't see a third event like this.
Hall citing rudder problems with earlier 737s back in the 1990s and battery problems recently with a 787, both of which were identified and corrected, says these investigations are vital.
And both of those aircraft have flown millions of Americans safely, millions if not billions of miles. And so this process is important to protect the safety of American families and American travelers.
China, Indonesia, and Aeromexico have grounded their Boeing MAX 8s. The FAA continues to call the planes airworthy here in the U.S. This country's only grounded an entire model of aircraft twice over the last 40 years. The black boxes from the Ethiopian Airlines flight have been recovered. They'll be scoured for answers.
Well, the FAA released a statement today regarding Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. In part, it says the FAA continuously assesses and oversees the safety performance of U.S. commercial aircraft. If we identify an issue that affects safety, the FAA will take immediate and appropriate action.